For this lesson, we are starting NF3, and we're going to work on understanding that when we work with fractions, when we're adding and subtracting them, we have to be talking about the same part of a whole. So because of that, we can only add and subtract fractions when our denominators are the same. So if you look over here, you're going to want to have out, if you pause the video for a second, you're going to want to have out two colors. It might be helpful if you have blue and green, because I'm going to do blue and green. So go ahead and pause the video, grab your colors, and we'll get started. So if I have 3/8 and 2/8, I can see that my denominators are the same, right? They're both eighths. So I'm going to shade 3 parts with one color. Okay, so I'll do 3/8. I'm going to do them my one color. 1, 2. Now you'll notice I am not doing it perfect. It's really messy. It's a math model. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to shade 2 parts with the other color. So I'm going to just 2/8, 1, 2. So I have, I still have 8 in my whole. So I'm not adding 8 plus 8 because I'm talking about how many parts of this whole that has 8. So I still have 8 on the bottom. And then I'm going to count how many all together, because when we add, we're getting a total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you look over here, if we didn't have the model, do you see? We've got 8 still on the bottom. 8 stays the same. And then 3 plus 2 is 5, because we're talking about the same part of a whole. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So 2/4 plus 1/4. So I have, I'll do this one as the 2/4. And I'll do this one. So you can see my model has 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to quickly shade 2/4. Please don't spend a bunch of time coloring it. Make sure you're listening. Okay, and then I'm going to shade 1/4. My other color, my denominator, I'm not adding it together. Look right here, 4. We're not doing 4 plus 4. That part stays the same because we're talking about 4 pieces in a whole. So 4, 2 plus 1 is 3, okay? This time, if you look right here, we are now doing subtraction, okay? So what I like to do for this, so we're gonna start with our blue, okay? And we're starting with 4, 6. You can see there's 6 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so I like to, if I'm doing fractions, I like to think about a story with it to help me understand. So let's think about a story. So if I cooked a pizza and right now I have 4, 6 left. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. I have 4, 6 of my pizza, okay? And then a friend came over and she ate 3, 6. So I'm gonna go back to them. So now here's my 3, 6, and I'm gonna go, since I'm subtracting, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So now all that's left is the 1/6, okay? So the 6 is still there. We're not adding or subtracting it. It's how many pieces are in our whole. And then we started with 4. We took away 3. So now all we have left is 1/6, okay? All right, so let's try it again right here. If I have 5/8, okay? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5/8. I'm going to take out 1/8. So I'm going to cross out 1. Okay, how many are left? So remember, if you, oh, I forgot to color code. If you look at this, okay, there's 8 pieces in the whole, so that's not changing. Okay, then 5 take away 1, so we took away 1. So what's left is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5/8 minus 1/8 is 4/8. Okay? All right, let's come over here. So every time we're going to want to look at our sign to know what we're doing. So we're doing 5/8 plus 2/8. Now, you could even, you could do it like this. You could go, you want to make sure, if you were drawing this model, you would just want to ensure that you have 8 parts, right? Because your denominator is 8, but you're not. You have your model here, so we're going to go, you don't even have to shade. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, And then you could grab your other color and go 1, 2. Okay, so let's make sure. So 2/8, 5/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm counting how many I colored. So 5 plus 2 is 7. And then there's 8 total pieces. Okay, that's why we're not adding our denominators. Okay, now we have addition again. So let's color code. And if I'm going too fast, just go ahead, pause your video. And even if you are a math mind and you're like, hey, wait, I understand how to do it without the model, I still want you to do your models because part of your standard and what you need to understand as a 4th grader is how to work with models. So make sure you're not skipping that, okay? So here we have 3/6 and we have 2/6. So you can see we have a total of 6 pieces in our fraction. We're adding, so let's go ahead and do it. So you could do 1, 2, 3, because my light blue is 3. My green is going to be 2, so 1, 2. So that's why, remember, we're talking about the same part of a whole. That's why they're both 6th, and that's why we're not adding them. It's how many pieces are in the whole. What we're adding is the pieces, and that's always our top number is the pieces, okay? So we have 6 total pieces still. Our 6 does not change. 3 plus 2 is 5, okay? All right, 6/8 and 3/8. And if you look here, we have to check every time. Now we are subtracting. We have 8 pieces in our model, okay? So we're gonna make this one our 6, and we're gonna make this one our 3. So let's start out with, we're gonna go 6/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then now I can go back with my second color and I'm gonna take away 3. So I'm gonna go, I already did X's, so I'm gonna do it like this. So 1, 2, 3, okay? So there's 8 total pieces in our whole. So we're gonna put 8 on the bottom. Remember, our 8 does not change. We have to look how many did not get taken away. So 1, 2, 3. That's why we end up with 3/8, okay? All right, 5/6 minus 4/6. We are doing subtraction. Let's go ahead and color code. Whoopsie daisies. Okay, 5/6 minus 4/6. Okay, so let's start with our 5. This time I'm gonna do some quick shading. 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna cross out 4/6 because we took them away. So 1, 2, 3, 4. How many pieces do we have total? That's always our denominator, whether they've been taken away or not, because it's how many pieces are in the whole. Okay, we have 6 pieces, even though they're not shaded, even though it doesn't matter. There's 6 pieces in a whole. Okay, how many are left that have not been crossed out? Just 1. So the answer is 1/6.